Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Video Game Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Rose. With me, as always, is Josh Byerly.
Hello, everybody.
And today we have a very special guest, a friend of mine, Sean. Also goes by Big Sauce. It was a Big Sauce Gaming or Big Sauce Games.
Bigsaucegames.
Big Sauce
Saucy.
Games on
Saucy.
on Instagram. If you collect video games, you've probably seen his posts. He's got some epic stuff and epic stories as well, so I'm excited to have him on today. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, by the way, guys.
Absolutely. Excited to have you.
Excited.
This is where we just sit and have a moment of silence.
Yeah, it's just a nice quiet time.
The calm before the storm, as you will.
Yeah.
Now what, Josh?
You're the guy running the show, Matt, not me.
What I have a feeling because a lot of the people that watch this are strictly, or some of them I should say, are strictly old school video game collectors and now collectors nowadays. So they might not know who you are. You also go by a gamer tag of Legend. That may trigger some things for some people, but why don't you give us a kind of a brief background about yourself? And
So a lot of people that, if you play Halo, Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, you might have known me through there. As a collector, I'm kind of new. Probably been around for maybe 2 years now. On Instagram. As the Bigsaucegames. I guess we could go all the way back to the first game I ever played, right?
Yeah.
Is that a good place to go? Okay, so
absolutely.
That's where we start, man.
yeah, okay, good. So my dad bought me a Nintendo. Of course, Mario. I don't know how he knew, but he got me Mario. He got me a Nintendo, and I'm hoping that the Mario he bought me wasn't a circle seal just to clear the air, because we all know what those are worth these days.
Yeah.
Grew up playing Nintendo, Sega, Super. I would say that I was more of a Super NES guy, more than a Sega.
What was your game on Super?
Oh man, it was it had to be Mortal Kombat.
Ooh.
And Super Mario World and Super Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. Actually, you know what? Before I get into the Halo, I was a big fighting game fan. I loved Marvel vs. Capcom, Tekken Tag, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and then I was big into the arcade world. Like I would go to, the local malls and stuff. And I think that's the first time I ever heard of another professional video game player. It was Justin Wong. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but he was like one of the real good Marvel vs. Capcom players. And so, for me, like that was a guy that I was like, man, like this guy is just, I wish I was as good as this guy, And so I spent many hours playing Marvel vs. Capcom at the arcades and stuff. And then a buddy of mine who he introduced me to Halo. He said, "Hey man, my uncle got this Xbox, the new Xbox, and there's a game called Halo. You gotta come play it." And I was like, "All right, yeah, I'm in." So I go over to his house, and he has this giant, I want to say it was a rear projection TV. It was probably like 65 inches. And of course, we played some Blood Gulch. We had the 4 screens up. It was me, him, his uncle, and I think one of our other buddies. And, I was just naturally, I just felt like I was, this was made for me, right? So we're all running around and I'm just getting all the kills, and I'm like, man, this is really fun. The first time I think I got to, drive a Warthog, it was like, it was like, man, this is the coolest game I've ever played. So, I go home and I'm like, all I can think about is, man, I got to get an Xbox. I got to get that Halo game. This is just so much fun. And my buddy goes, hey, guess what? I found a way for us to play other people on the internet. And I said, what? You're telling me that we could play other people from your house that are in different parts of the world? And he said, yes, you got to come over. So I go, okay, I'm going to find a way to get over there. I didn't have a car because I wasn't old enough to drive. So I think I rode my bike like 15 miles to my buddy's house so that we could play other people on the internet. And it was called System Link, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through a software called XB Connect. I don't know if you ever got a chance to experience that, Matt or Josh.
Nope.
No? Okay.
I was too poor.
well, luckily my buddy had a laptop, and I think during that time, that was a big deal. If you had a laptop, I mean, you were pretty well off.
2001, 2002, right?
I think it was. I want to say it was around 2001. I don't remember what year Halo came out, which is kind of embarrassing. I really should know that. But so I go over, and he loads up the program on the laptop, and he says, okay, you see right here, these are all lobbies that people are hosting. And, we join the lobby, and they'll have a game up. And so I just vividly remember, we plug in the controllers, and of course we're playing split screen. And, the iconic loading screen for when you're waiting for a game, it says I think it said looking for game or searching for game, and you just see this map of I don't remember if it was like a Halo map or if it was a map of Earth, like a 2D image. And he said, okay, I'm going to join this lobby, and there's going to be a game that's going to pop on the screen, and when it does, you're going to press A on the controller and you're going to join the lobby. I said, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. So we join, and it's a prisoner map, 2 versus 2 Team Slayer, and I don't think I've ever been beat so bad at a video game in my entire life. I mean, I kept looking over at my buddy, and I said, are these guys cheating? They're killing me so fast. They know exactly when the overshield is back, the camo, the rocket. Like, what is happening? We're getting beat 50-5. And he said, dude, they're just better than you. And I'm like, no. They're definitely cheating. I'm going to figure this out. And this is never going to happen again. And of course, years and years of playing it took to get, to the skill level that these guys were already at. Because, and I'll kind of fast forward a little bit here. There was a place called Game City, and it was in Orlando, Florida, and it was a LAN center. And the first time I went there, I walk in, and there's a tournament happening, and I wanted to play in the tournament. So me and the guy that introduced me to Halo, we wanted to participate. So we signed up, we sit down, we start, practicing against other people. And I look over, and these kids and I'm like, these guys have stopwatches on their controller. What's going on? And so I go up to somebody and I said, hey, why does that guy have a stopwatch on his controller? Like, what is that for? And he goes, oh, they're timing the power-ups. And I said, wait a minute, what? Like, you're telling me that they know when the power-ups are going to come? And then he goes, yeah. I said, well, that's how they cheated us. And so, the tournament starts, and, I was at that point, I was actually pretty good at the game. Like, I had very good mechanics. I was good shooting. I had, very intuitive thinking. We ended up making it to, I don't remember what round it was, but we ended up matching against the 3-time undefeated champions, of that land center. So this was a big match, and I was like, we're definitely going to get beat. So the first game was actually a prisoner. Excuse me. It was the map prisoner, and which was the first map that I ever played as a system link player, and we ended up squeezing out the victory on the first map. And by that time, a crowd started to form behind both of us and the other team, and they win game number 2. So it's a best of 3, and we go into the final game, and it's Blood Gulch capture the flag, and I go, we're gonna win. You know why? Because we've had so many hours in Blood Gulch that there's no way that somebody's gonna outdrive the Warthog over me. So the match starts, and I mean, we are just battling out for it. It was the longest match of my life, and we're just going back and forth. Nobody can capture the flag. It just seems like a stalemate, and I don't even remember if there was a timer involved where, if time runs out, it's a draw. I think it's just like, you just play until the game ends. So we're in like a 35-minute game, which is like, I mean, it's not unheard of if you're playing like a capture the flag, but like, it's still like really long. It just means that like, both teams are evenly matched and nobody's able to get the flag. So there comes a point where I had a sniper rifle in my hands, and I got to the enemy base, and I ended up sniping both players while my teammate was on respawn. I grabbed the flag. I had enough time to hop in the hog, and I start driving back from behind their base, back towards my base, and they spawn in front of me, in front of the Warthog. So I said, in my head, I go, oh my gosh, I know what I need to do right here in this moment. So they spawn, and before they can pull out their pistol, I jump out of the Warthog, and I kill both of them they were killed by a vehicle. And when that happens, you get double respawn time. So both players were eliminated by the vehicle. So they were out for 20 seconds instead of 10. So I had enough time to run back, capture the flag. And I tell my teammate, I said, dude, you need to get back and get the next flag because they're out for 20 seconds, dude. Hurry. He gets back. He gets the flag. He brings it back. We cap it. Game over. And I mean, the whole land center just went bananas. And they were like, oh my gosh, who is this guy who are these guys that just beat the champs? And I mean, it was great. So that was kind of like where it all started.
Were those, do you remember who those 2 players were? Did they end up?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bowman and Gintron.
And did they go pro?
Yeah, Gintron was actually considered one of the best players ever to play the game. He had arguably the best pistol. Mm-hmm. He won multiple events with actually I think he teamed with Zios, Killer, and I can't remember who the last guy was. They made this team in order to try to beat the ogres. That's what they did.
And you just
rolled their bags. Sorry, what was that, John?
You just rolled their bags with a Warthog. You're like, I'm hopping out.
Yeah. I just said, you know what? Let me get them double respawn. I don't need the kills on my stats. I just need them out for 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's perceptive, man. I love it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I would have just done that just because that was a cool way to kill them, not because I knew. I'm like, I'm just going to run these guys over.
Yeah. I know I know Matt's a big fan of the teabag. So actually I was streaming the other night, and he joins the chat, and he goes, I'm just here for teabags. So I made sure to give him a good number of those. And that
I'll be nice, and I won't say which direction I was hoping the teabags went.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was yeah. I'll tell you what, watching you play, and for those who are watching, you can follow Sean on, you're on, do you want to give your Twitch name out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's twitch.tv//ask legend, all one word.
Yeah. And if you want to watch somebody who rips at Halo CE specifically, to this day, it is insane. I mean, I've seen, plenty of pros play before, but he was doing things that I was just like, what in the world? I mean, yeah, it's insane.
What that translates to, guys, is I have way too much time on my hands.
I gotta ask you guys, how come Perfect Dark for 360 didn't turn into something big?
Matt, you got this one?
I never played it. I didn't play.
Is it? I think my friend and he got the 360 when it launched. He was like the no HDMI 360, and first game on that to pick up is Perfect Dark for 360, and we played the shit out of it. I thought it was a great game. Maybe I'm missing something.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Perfect Dark born on
64?
64. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't even know what it was called on the other. Was it like a different name, like Perfect Dark?
Perfect Dark something, but
something zero.
Maybe it just actually is a really shitty game, and I just don't know. But I remember we were playing it on 360, and I loved it.
Yeah,
it was rare, and they made great stuff.
I don't think I ever got a chance to get on Perfect Dark outside of the N64, and I think when it was on N64, I think we were so caught up in GoldenEye that we never even gave it the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can shoot through walls and stupid shit, but it's a good game.
Yeah, in Halo that would be considered cheating if you could shoot someone through.
I hated playing multiplayer Perfect Dark with my friend because he'd shoot me through the wall. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna play it.
But you just said it was a great game.
No, but I wouldn't play multi. Like the storyline, it's a fun game.
Gotcha.
And then he got it for the 360, and we played the hell out of it. But yeah, Halo's the shit.
Yeah, actually, in Halo, I take that back. You can shoot people through walls in certain scenarios, like for example, on Prisoner. A lot of people don't even know this. Is up on the walkways underneath of it, there's these little lights, right? And they're in they're spread apart. I would say every 6 feet or so. If you shoot a rocket directly into that little light, it'll translate to a rocket hitting the surface area of where the player is, but they have to be very close to that light on the platform.
Really specific.
How you know that?
How do I know this? This is actually great. I shot a really bad rocket one time, and it killed a player, and I said, "Wait a minute, that's not supposed to happen." So after the game, I don't know that I did it right after the game, but some point after we played, I loaded up a game by myself, and I put a player right on above the light, and I shot the rocket, and it killed him, and I go, oh my gosh, somebody's in trouble next time I play. And I get these rockets.
Just gonna hang out here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna be like this, just waiting for the guy to
just to do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what got you into collecting?
So I was actually, I don't know how, but everything somehow ties back into me playing a game of Halo, right? So I was actually hosting a small little LAN at my house, and I just remember thinking to myself, man, I love this game so much that I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna go on eBay and I'm gonna buy a copy of it, and I want to buy the first release of it, and I don't even know what that is, but I'm gonna figure it out. So after I was done playing, I went on eBay and I typed in Halo Combat Evolved, and I selected the filter to new, and I went, I think I set it to highest price first, and then I started to scroll down, and I found a black label, and the asking price was $150, and it looked like it was in great condition, so I bought it. And I think on the same day or maybe the next day, I bought a Halo Xbox too, sealed, because I was like, I have to just have these things. I don't care how much they cost. I don't care if they're ever going to be worth anything. I need this. So I bought the Xbox. And then after both things arrived, I was like, man, I kind of like I kind of like buying like these old artifacts. And at the time I would say we're 2013 or something.
Yeah.
So it might have been about almost 10 years old. And so it was kind of ancient. It was kind of retro at the time. So then I sort of got addicted to it. And the next thing you know, I'm buying 50 copies of Halo, Halo CE, and I'm buying Halo 2 now, and I'm buying Halo 3 because I'm just like I can't stop. It's just like, I needed some sort of rehab or something, man. I was just going crazy, just buying, and here we are now.
Nice. Yeah, it's
I feel your pain. I don't stop buying games either.
So Josh, tell me, what was the first game you bought as a collector?
Ooh.
That's a good question. The first game I got as a collector is probably going to be a stack of games that, I got from a friend that we grew up playing his personal copies of games. His name was Brandon. And I asked him to bring some of his games to school. I'm like, hey, do you play those games anymore? And he brought a stack of the games that we played growing up to school, and those were the first ones. And it was Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout on NES. That's like the one that really sticks out. But it was Terminator on NES as well, the first Terminator. And it had all the rental store stickers on them that his parents would buy them from after they would sell the copies. So they were like nostalgic copies that we played as kids.
So they were CIB, right?
No, they were cartridges.
Oh,
So,
they were just cartridges, and so
yeah.
you were buying it just
he just gave them to me, and so it started this path of asking kids at school if they had their old Nintendo games, probably when I was a freshman in high school, and just going from there, and they would just bring them to me at lunch, and I would they would give them to me. I didn't pay anything for them. They're like, yeah, we don't play them anymore. Here you go. I got a bunch of games that way. And then probably sophomore year, I got my license, and we would drive. I would save my lunch money, seriously save my lunch money, and I would drive around to the thrift stores at lunchtime and buy video games. I got like Sega CD shit doing that.
So you think your first purchase was like a Sega CD game?
No, I was definitely going into Goodwill and buying Nintendo cartridges for getting a box for like a couple bucks for a box of Nintendo games. Gotcha. I have original copies of the games I played growing up, but I would sell them too at flea markets. I have my SNES Advantage that I still have. I remember pricing it at a garage sale when I was in middle school, and everybody bought everything except the Super Nintendo, the SNES Advantage controller. So I still have that, but I sold all my Super Nintendo games at a garage sale, I remember. That's Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout really sticks out as probably one of the first games as a collector that I got.
Nice.
Just it's more than that too. It was a copy that we played as kids too, and I got his Mario 3. I got all that, but I can't say I had a Nintendo and my old copies. I had some of them, but I don't know if I had a Mario 3. Maybe that's where that one came from. But then after that, I would go down the roads of getting a hold of rental stores and going into them and taking my savings account and being like, I have $1,000 in my savings account. I'm in high school, and I'm like, I'll give you $1,000 for all the video games you have here. And the people that are there are like, we're not renting these, sure, no problem. So I would do that, and I would parlay it into selling the doubles, and then kind of recouping my money, and then putting stuff in my collection, and then always selling duplicates. So it sounds. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it sounds like you got the head start out of everybody here on the game collecting.
I guess so. I just did it earlier than a lot of people. But the funny thing is that's like, it's like 98, 99. And there were, I go to Classic Gaming Expo in 2003, and I meet a bunch of people there, and these guys have been doing it for years, right? And that's like 4 years after I started collecting, 4 or 5 years after I started collecting. And they, and I'm talking to guys that they're like, oh yeah, I've been collecting since 92. looking for these Atari games.
Wow.
There are people out there like that. I mean, the collecting bug goes deep in video games if you know where to look. And many of those people aren't online. They're 50, 60 years old hanging out with their Atari games. So
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to go look, like outside of the internet, to find, these old relics,
yeah, and it's, Matt's been doing this long enough and been coming to shows long enough that he knows these people, these older folks that come to the show, and not older, but older than we are at this point, who've been coming to these shows, and I know them by name because I've been going to them for so long, and they're just staples that have been going to the older shows before Portland Retro Gaming Expo was around, and they have contacts too. So it's all about networking if you want to get the right collections, look for the right stuff. People go in and out of this all the time, and some people are just really diehard and staples in this hobby too. So
awesome, man.
Yeah.
How about you, Matt? What was the first game you bought as a collector?
I don't know if I would consider it as a collector, but I remember in 2003 I hopped on eBay because I was really craving playing Baseball Stars again. That was one of my all-time favorites, and sadly, it's one of the games that I never. When I started actually collecting in 2008, 2009, which is when I found Nintendo Age, and I actually met Josh very shortly after. I just bought all the games sealed that I used to grow up playing, and the only one I didn't get that was on my high list to get that meant the most to me was Baseball Stars, and that was just simply because it was so hard to find.
Yeah, but you did get a sweet Game Boy.
I did.
Right?
Yeah. That's a great story. But
yeah, that's why you came on Nintendo Age.
I actually came on Nintendo Age because I typed Mega Man because I was looking for a Mega Man. I just wanted a Mega Man to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then it popped in Google search that Nintendo Age was actually like above eBay. So I clicked on that. I was like, "Who's this guy Joan Bone selling Mega Man?" And then he had like this list of games he had just bought off eBay, and he was just selling. They're all CIB. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can get all these games I've never played for like $7." And I just started buying. I was like, "Give me this one, give me this one, give me this one." I didn't know what I was doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, actually, that was one of the first names I heard as a collector was Joan Bone.
Joan Bone.
And that's because actually one of the Halo 1 guys in our community, his name is you guys might know him actually. His name is Andrew Lawrence.
I don't know.
No.
So according to him, he has like one of the largest SNES CIB collections. And I guess he and Joan Bone had some history. And actually, when I first got into collecting, Andrew was like, if you want to, get into it, I would recommend, joining all these Facebook groups. You obviously already know about eBay. I know this guy, Joan Bone, has a pretty big collection. He's always looking to sell stuff. I don't know if you're looking to buy like, cheap stuff, or if you want like, but he would be a guy to look at, in terms of, buying, cool, rare stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll keep a note of that. But I think Andrew has a what's that game called? The really expensive SNES game that's an RPG. I always forget what it's called. It's like the Chrono Trigger.
Oh, Chrono Trigger.
And I asked him, I said, "Do you have one of those? And is it sealed?" And he sends me a picture, and it's CIB. And I was like, "Oh man, it's not sealed. I figured you had a sealed one, man. You have one of the biggest SNES collections." He's like, "Man, I don't care if it's sealed or not. I just like a good condition box.
Fair
Doesn't
enough.
matter to me if it's sealed or not." And I said, "You know what? I respect that."
Yeah.
Guys, speaking my language, I just like a nice condition box too.
I
I like a sealed game. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, I heard you're a big first print guy. Also.
Yeah.
I definitely like the first print.
Yeah. I also enjoy every print too. So don't get me wrong. I'm like, wait a minute, what is this on this game? I'm into it. So
Yeah, I think I'm the same way with Halo 1. I try to make it a point to get every single variant. I kind of got a little lazy towards towards the end. I think I need to get a Spanish one, a Korean one, and then a Chinese one. Not the Hong Kong one, but there's just a Chinese one. I think and then there's an Italian one that I need to get. So that's 4. And I don't know if there's a German one or not. I can't remember. But I remember grabbing a couple of the PAL first prints, and one was made in Ireland and one was made in Germany. And I learned that later on, which I thought was pretty cool.
Now, are there any of these Halos that are in different countries that say maybe one was made in Ireland, but it got shipped to the Netherlands and they open it up and put a Dutch manual in it or something like that, or something weird?
I was hoping you would be the one to tell me that.
I gotta imagine there is, because there's all sorts of shit like that on NES.
Yeah.
Where you go to Portugal and there's like a weird Portuguese NES variant there. They shoved a manual inside the game and it's got a neat Portuguese sticker on it.
Right.
Or there's like the Greek ones with like fully licensed Greek manuals, which are really cool. They're not documented well at all, but I have no idea if there's anything like that for Halo. Honestly.
Yeah, I think we would have to get Dan Gomez in here if we seek those answers.
Yeah, you're probably right.
We'll have to ask him on his next go round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what about you, Sean? What is the first game you got as a collector?
Oh, it was the Halo 1 Black Label.
That's it? You didn't have anything. You don't have anything from before your gaming days that you held on to and it's now sitting within your collection. You're like, that's part of it. Nothing like that.
I guess because the word collect or collecting, I guess you could say it's kind of relative, because like all the games that I had, I never thought like I want to keep this, or like this means like something to me in its current state. But that first print, Halo 1, was like, I have to buy this and I want to preserve this and I want to keep this and admire this. Like that was the game.
Yeah, it was $150.
$150, and ended up grading. Actually, I sent it to WADA about a year ago when you could still do select, and it was only $25 to submit it, and it graded a 9.6 A+, and I was ecstatic. I was like, that's so awesome.
It's a great grade.
Came back such a high grade. It was the first game I ever. Oh, you know what?
What year was that? No, what year did you buy it?
2013.
Damn, that seems like a good deal.
Yeah, well, actually,
he was in a good gap.
I just caught myself in a bit of a. I think the first game I bought was the Chinese one, the Hong Kong.
Deep, yeah.
Because it was only $8, and I just saw how cheap it was, and I think I bought that while looking for the Black Label, so technically that would have been the first buy. But I was seeking, a first print NTSC.
Yeah,
which I found them both at a few minutes apart. So
Halo.
I think I can count it as the first one still.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think for me, collecting it just all kind of bleeds together with stuff that I held on to from a young age, and it's all just kind of part of it. But there is that definitive moment, I would agree, that where I remember it as that's the point. And many times over the years, I've taken a big chunk of my stuff and I'm like, I'm selling all this shit because I want to go do this, or I want to go do something different in life for a little while. But I always come back to having this core amount of stuff, and it's a lot of stuff usually. But I'll take a bunch of CIB Nintendo games and just sell them.
Yeah, actually, I've talked about this with Matt a few times. It's hard to let stuff go. Like I don't want to sell anything. I just want to buy.
Me too.
And just here recently, I decided I'm going to let, a few games go, pretty big games. I got a Mario Kart 64 that I don't know why, but actually
I saw you posted that.
Saw that?
Yeah, I want to buy it from you. I'll take
Okay,
I'll
well,
take
I
it with the
have it right
barcode.
here.
I'll take it with that barcode cut out. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so I don't know why somebody would cut this UPC out. I speculated with Eric recently, Ghost, that maybe somebody would cut it out because there was some sort of contest or some sort of, you know how like you could cut the cereal boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I could come up with.
I have no idea. I've never seen a barcode cut out on a game like that. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's tragic because the game is in pretty good condition, like front and back. I mean, had
Is
they
there
not
plastic
done,
missing in that area?
well, the plastic where the UPC is missing is where the plastic is also missing.
Okay.
So, you know, I would imagine like I've gotten games back with like similar size plastic missing, and they've gotten a B.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, to be conservative, it's, you know, maybe a C plus, maybe a B.
Yeah. Looks like a pretty nice box otherwise.
Yeah, like the front of it is
That's
like really, really clean.
It's a nice looking copy.
Thank you. I picked it up actually. True story. I picked it up on eBay. First, it sold, and I saw that it sold for $300, and I was like, man, I would have totally paid $300 for that. And
right.
So, you know, I forgot about it, and then I just so happened to be, you know, loaded up eBay one day about a week or two later, and I see it pop up again, and it's the same price. So I instantly buy it. Like no hesitation. And then I start looking at it closer, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe the guy that bought it, you know, is thinking what I'm thinking. Like this thing is maybe not even worth it. And so I kind of second guess myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually I opened up a return request. Right?
Yeah.
I opened a return request, and then 10 minutes later I said, no, you're crazy. Tell this guy not to accept the return request. Tell him to decline it, and tell him to ship the game.
Right.
And here, I ended up getting it, and I was like, I'm glad I did. I listed it. I think 2 days ago. I put it on eBay. I put an asking price of $14,000, and I woke up this morning to a $10,000 offer. So I'm kind of marinating on that right now. I'm thinking of taking it, but I'm not sure. I'm still considering maybe holding off a little bit more, because I did see that 8.5 sell on Heritage for what, 35,000. So
yeah, I think that's what it was. 34.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy that I didn't that he didn't accept the return.
You should grade that. You should just send
you
it
think
and
so?
grade it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you got a good point. I mean,
I think you should.
I'm real big on
because
grading.
I would buy it and I would grade it. I'm really curious. You know, I graded a game. It was a Willow, and it had the barcode cut out like that, but it was completely missing. Right? You could see the styrofoam insert on the bottom, and it was a sealed copy. The plastic was missing there. I want to say they gave it a 7.0. Maybe it was a 6.5. So I think if that's the only issue, and I don't know what their stance is on it today. That was really early on. I mean, I would check. I would definitely grade it. Maybe the barcode wasn't completely missing. I think it was on Heritage. I got to pull it up and look.
Yeah, I have a Halo 1 NFR black label that I bought, and it had actually, I don't know. I don't think I have it out here, but it had a chunk of it missing, like in the. Let me grab another game just for reference.
Of the case.
Yeah. Okay. So up here, it was like somebody took and hit it with like, you know, a blunt force. Yeah. And so a piece of the case went inside of the box, the game box.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it was like, I mean, the thing was really beat up, and then it still got a 6.0 B+. But the seal wasn't really like the seal wasn't really torn or ripped like this Mario was, but it still got a 6.0 with a chunk of it missing. So I figure, I'm being real conservative by saying I think it would get at least a 5. I think it would probably get a 6 or a 6.5, maybe even a 7. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think I might take your advice on that.
Here's the one I sold on Heritage back in March 31st, 2019. Okay, yeah, actually it was more along the lines of like yours. So it is a barcode that's kind of skinned off and plastic missing, and it got a 7.0 C+. Because it displayed and looked really nice, similar to that Mario Kart. I think you may be underestimating the grade on that.
So,
yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with like how a lot of times people will they'll try to, I guess, overestimate the grade, and so like sometimes when people do that, I feel like it kind of draws a little bit of negative attention from others, and then that it might come up in a discussion and like, yeah, that guy's crazy to think that it would grade that high. So like, I never want to be that guy.
Yeah, I saw your post last night, and I think you said it was like 5.5 condition in the post.
Yeah, like I think I said,
and I was like, I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow, and we'll probably bring this up, but I almost said something, but I was like, oh, that's a really, really, conservative estimate on it. I think it would probably grade higher than that.
Cool. Yeah, I think if it doesn't sell by the time we end this podcast, I think I'm gonna take it down and send it off.
Gonna go buy it right now. Hold on. Just kidding. I'll send you a $13,000 offer and just message the other guy and be like, yo, you want this or not? No, just kidding. Don't do that. I would. I think that it'll grade probably pretty well, but better than what you think. So
cool. Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, I've gotten a lot of games back and, a lot of grades. And I've seen pretty much everything from a 9.8 down to I think the lowest grade game I've ever gotten back was like a 6. And I feel like I'm probably not the best. I would probably not make the best grader. I think they would have to put me through some training before I could give a accurate grade. But yeah, I just don't want to be that guy, man. That people are like, oh, he's crazy to think that it would grade that high.
I think that's smart to do. I just think it's going to face up really well. To me, damage like that, it's damage, right? But I would much rather have damage like that than say, how the Nintendo 64 games get, and it's all crunched on one end, and it looks like somebody sat on it.
Yep.
But there's nothing you can do on something like that. I would much rather have a little piece of the barcode missing on a really nice square game that's going to face up really well.
I thought about it one day, and I thought to myself, man, it would be so cool if they could take a box that has like a dent in it or like a crunch, and they could like somehow use some sort of suction something to like pull it back up without doing any further damage, but it doesn't seem very realistic.
Not on that type of board. Yeah, because the ends of the N64 boxes are already like rounded when they're folded in. It's, man, they're sad looking, some of them.
Yeah, man. I you know what game I see a lot that I'm a big fan of for Super Nintendo, actually, that I constantly see them just battered and bruised. Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
I always want to find a good condition one that's like, not like, if it's in good condition and it's expensive, I mean, it's probably priced accordingly, but I'm like, man, I want to find a good one that's not, $2,000.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. It took me a long time to get one. I had like a 9.0 and a 9.2. I had a really perfect one. This was before any of the Super Nintendo shit was going wild. This is 2019. And I'm like, I'm going to buy a couple Killer Instincts because I want to get one of those. I played it a lot. But every one I got was jacked. And then the one that shouldn't have been jacked, the dude, I love the priority mail packaging, right? He literally just ships it in a small flat rate box. And if you've shipped a Super Nintendo game, they don't quite fit in there, and it's right up against it. So I get it, and everything's perfect, but it's got a ridge because the box just got crunched a little.
Oh, I have a great story when you're done.
Yeah. How to ship games 101.
Okay, so I bought actually the same box that has the missing piece in it, the Halo NFR Black Label.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was asking $10,000 for it on eBay. You might have seen it, Matt, at one point. But I mean, it was just battered and bruised. The hole was there, and I offered him $2,500 for it. And I think that at the time, that might have been a little high for something that was just so in such poor condition. And he accepted the offer for $2,500. And I sent a message to him. I said, hey, I just wanted to say if you could just, package this thing with, bubble wrap and double box it, just so that it, doesn't incur any further damages, because, I'm paying a lot of money for something that's already, in pretty bad shape. And he says, no problem. I'll take care of it. I'll double box it. I'll bubble wrap it plenty. I'm like, all right, cool. We're good. It comes in small flat rate box, not double box, no bubble wrap. He just jams it in there. And I'm like, come on, bro. Like, we talked about this.
It's $2,500 game.
$2,500. The game's already beat up. And here's the thing. The small flat rate box looks like the postmaster played football with it, soccer with it.
They don't fit.
Yeah.
They don't
It doesn't fit.
You got to angle that if you want to get in the small flat rate box.
Exactly.
Guys. So
exactly.
Angle it. The trick to get a game in one of these without any packaging is to angle it and then fold the box up, but never ship a game that way. So
yeah. So I message him and I take a picture of the postal box that just looked like it got stomped on. And I said, hey man, I don't know what happened, but I got the game today and the box was crushed and the game looks in way worse condition than it was. And don't get me wrong, pictures don't really reveal everything all the time. We all know that, right? So, I mean, the game could have been in the same condition it was when he shipped it. I really don't know, but it looked a lot worse when I took it out of the box. And I said, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, this is just not acceptable. Like, I don't think that, this is going to work out for me. I don't know what you want to do or how you want to, proceed. And his response was very like, he seemed like a really young person, young kid. And he goes, hey man, I'm so sorry. Please go easy on me on this, whatever we can do, like I'll refund you some money. And I'm like, it's Halo. It's not for resale. Just work it out. You want to keep it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about it and I said, all right. I said, I'll tell you what, if you'll refund me 40% of the price, I'll keep it. And I'll leave you positive feedback and, we'll be done with it. And he goes, done. And I got the refund. And, I would say that I'm happier with the outcome than I would have been, even if you would have shipped it in a nice, double box, like, because, I would say I got a really good deal at that point.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no small flat rate boxes, guys.
No, they'll destroy them. Especially, man, it amazes me when you pay, say, yeah, I was listed at 10 grand, right? But you offered the $2,500 or whatever. And like, people are like, oh, I'm just going to run this $2,500 item to the post office and throw it in a box. I'm like, that's the best.
I mean, I mean, it's one thing if that happens, and it's another if you talk about it, right, and you
Mm-hmm.
discuss that this is how we're going to do this,
Yeah.
and then they still do that. It just
Right.
It makes no sense.
Not only discussion, but just the complete lack of understanding how things work in the world. I don't know.
Right. And you would think with like a description like, really rare copy of Halo in his description, like,
Yeah.
you know this game is valuable, right? And you know that a collector is going to buy it and they're going to want to preserve it. And you just everything, all that common sense just goes out of the window.
Yeah, I agree, and it really comes down to I feel like in anything the dollar amount, whatever you're shipping in a dollar amount, regardless of the dollar amount, but when you get up to $1,000 and above, I don't want to have to try to figure out how to give you your money back. I'm gonna go. The shit's coming overnight. I'm putting it on my FedEx account, and it's gonna be to you tomorrow, and I don't care.
Right.
It's gonna be or 2 day or whatever. But I'm not going to. It's gonna get double boxed. I'm not taking any chances on $1,000.
And insured and signature delivery typically.
Right. I just the dollar amount's it for me that pisses me off when people have complete disregard for that. I bought a Pokemon Snap on eBay for $2,200, and the guy sent it in a small flat rate box.
A Snap? Isn't that a bigger box too? Like not just a.
No, you're thinking, hey, you Pikachu, but Snap's just a normal size one. But it was in a small flat rate box and no padding.
So just
I think, you know what? I think
it
I'm
was
thinking
fine.
Stadium. I was thinking Stadium.
Oh, Stadium, yeah.
Yeah.
But it showed up fine. I had just sold my only copy I had on Heritage, and the copy I had was a 7.0A, and it was at $1,500, or maybe I paid just under $1,500. It was at $1,500, I think, on Friday afternoon, and the one I'd been watching on eBay looked like a 9.0 or so, and it was open auction. I'm like, I don't think people had seen that the 7.0 was at $1,500 on Heritage, because I ended up winning this one. I think it was $1,300 is what it was. It wasn't $2,300. So I got it for $1,300, and then that one ended up selling for like $2,500. And then all of a sudden, Snap, you can't get a Snap now for under $2,000. So
I mean,
I lucked out. Like I took a risk selling the only one I had because I was hoping to upgrade the condition, and I got it. So it just kind of rolled it into another game. But.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of Pokemon, before the big boom happened, I had bought a Pokemon Red, the Charizard, for $300 sealed, and it was in pretty good condition. I'd say like a 9. I go take a shower. I come back. My order has been canceled. It had been relisted for $1,200. Gone. I was like, the one time I go for a Pokemon game, and then I get back to work for $1,200, and I was like, well, you know what? That's just how it goes. This is how this works. Whoever pays the most money is going to get the game. You can't be mad, dude. You just either go back and try to get it for more, or just move on. I just figured that's the way it went.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, that's a good segue into. You told me the story, and I wanted to get it out there. And Josh actually, back when we tried to have you on the first time, he mentioned something. So I kind of want you to go through that story, and you know the story I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just to kind of air it out, just so anybody who's watching.
And I figured, like it's one of those like taboo subjects that a lot of people probably don't talk about openly. So I'm glad I could be here to do that. But basically what happened is, I was on eBay, and, this is before I was in any Facebook groups or, I knew any collectors really, like, aside from my buddy Andrew, I didn't really know anybody. And, I saw a Mortal Kombat for Game Boy pop up, and I think it was like $50. And, I opened the listing, it was gone. I messaged the seller. I said, hey, I'll pay $150 for this Mortal Kombat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, no, sorry, it's already sold. And I was like, are you sure, man? I'll pay $300, right? And he's like, no, it's forget about it. And I'm just like, all right, well, I get a message the next day, and it's a screenshot of a conversation in a Facebook group. And it was basically like, hey, does anybody know who this guy is on eBay? He tried to backdoor this Mortal Kombat from me. It seems like he's a pretty, like, it seems like he, you know, he's a somebody, because I guess they found, you know, some of my listings on eBay, and I had like a lot of, you know, I would say more expensive games. And so, and I just immediately thought, oh gosh, what have I done? What is, and then it all kind of just made perfect sense to me, right? Like, you know, I didn't really understand the intricacies of, you know, game collecting and like all the nuances and stuff. So, you know, I guess you could say I was very naive and I was very blind to, like, you know, these guys really care about games, right? Like they care about the community that they're in, and you know, it's something like that is kind of is frowned upon, right? And it all kind of hit me at the same time, and I thought to myself, you need to take a step back and really think about, you know, how you're going to move forward, what you're going to do now. And so, you know, I found out who the guy was, and the guy that originally bought the Mortal Kombat. And I said, hey man, you know, I just wanted to reach out to you because, you know, I know you recently, you know, somebody tried to buy a game that you bought on eBay, and I wanted to apologize. That was me that tried to do that. And at the time when I did that, you know, I didn't really understand that this was frowned upon by other collectors. I didn't really realize that there was, like, you know, this big group of people that, you know, are all involved in this game collecting, and that, you know, this is like a big no-no. So, you know, I just want to apologize. And, you know, moving forward, I'm going to really think about how I, you know, approach buying video games. And so from that point on, you know, if I miss something, if I miss a game that I wanted and I know it went for a really low price or something, at best, I'll reach out to the seller. I say, hey, if this deal falls through, or if this doesn't work out, I would love to submit a backup offer. And then, you know, I kind of leave it at that. And then I go on, you know, I go on my way. But, you know, it was a real eye opener. And, you know, it really, you know, I really did a lot of self-reflecting on that, you know, when it happened. So, you know, I don't know, you know.
Wasn't Eric in your ear on that one?
Which Eric?
Okay, Erics. No, actually it was Josh Hamblin that reached out to me and said, hey, you know, are you this eBay person? And I said, yeah, why, what's up? And then he sent me the screenshot, and I go, oh gosh.
Mm-hmm. So the best part about that story is nobody knows the second part of the story. So yeah, everybody's just like, oh, this guy did this. And I remember when it was posted, and I was just like, okay. Welcome to the internet.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, through my whole life of buying stuff on the internet, or, you know, something on like a Craigslist or something, you know, it always would come down to whoever's going to pay the most is going to get the item, you know. And I just never really thought about, like, you know, the implications that really come along with it, especially when there's like a community involved of you know, of players. Mm-hmm. So you know, I really learned a valuable lesson at you know, when all that happened. And you know, I hope other people can kind of, you know, learn from my mistake. You know, don't end up on a Facebook post trying to buy a game from somebody that, you know, is already gone. You know, just, you know, let it go.
Yeah. And I can back up that Sean isn't just all talk either. I mean, we talk about games all the time, and some games will pop up and I'll say, hey, are you looking at this? And And one of them I said yes, and he just said, "Oh, you know what? And I knew you wanted it, and actually I feel bad that you didn't get it." But
Because Matt didn't bid high enough either, right?
Yeah,
So.
pretty much.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
And
what was the game?
Well, let me finish the.
I just got to know now.
What he simply said, you know what? I'll just completely back off, and he really did. So, I can back up that he's a man of his word. So and I feel bad because I told him,
but Matt isn't a man of his word because he doesn't win his auctions. So
I told him my max. It went over my max.
Okay.
So that was fair.
That's fair. Okay.
I didn't even get a chance to bid my max because it went above it. So I was like, whatever.
What was the game, Matt?
It was that blister. It was the blister listed.
Yeah.
Gosh, do I just throw it out there? No, it was a blister.
Sean, your audio is cut out, Sean.
Yeah, it cut out.
We can see your lips moving. We can't hear what you say. Matt, what'd you do to him?
I didn't do anything. Keep talking. I'll let you know when it chimes in. But anyway, it was a blister. It was a variant of one that I didn't have, and I kind of figured he was going to be looking at it too. And anyway, he let me bid, and I didn't win it anyway. So
what did it go for?
2028 something.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Little modulated and little loud. I don't know if it's.
Oh, do I need to back up?
That's good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
No, Matt. When that ended,
Yeah.
had the Halo 2s on Heritage already been selling for a lot?
Yeah, this was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so that's when you take that price that is on Heritage and you put another $1,000 on it, so you win the item.
But see, I had.
You remember when you bought the
financial ceiling that I was.
You can always call Josh, and I'll be like, "Here, I'll throw you some money. You can pay me back." So, no, Matt, remember the Minecraft? And you're like, I'm like, if you're not going to bid that price,
that's
then
right. That's right.
He's like, what should my max be? I'm like, $500.
No,
it goes for $470.
No. Here's the story. Here's the exact story, because that doesn't quite do it justice. We're looking at a first print Minecraft before people knew what it was. Josh knew I was looking at it. I knew he was looking at it. He's like, oh, let's just go together. Is that fair to say? So I'm like, okay, fine. That's cool. He's like, he's like, what were you going to bid or something? I was like, I was thinking like 250. He's like, no. He's like, no, you're going to bid $577.77. And we won by like $7 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it was a Minecraft?
First.
Yeah, 360 Minecraft.
Yeah. I was also, I wanted to say,
were you the underbidder, Sean?
No,
actually,
I'm
just kidding.
I wanted to say great work on finding out that was the first print on that Minecraft.
Yeah.
Good eyes.
It was only by buying 30 plus copies over the last year in 2020,
but to look at the back of that and find that, that's pretty big. I mean, hey Matt, would you say that he would have had good camo eyes on the in Halo?
I don't know what that is.
All right, yeah. So in Halo, there's a power up called the active camouflage. When you pick it up, and it fully when it fully kicks in effect, your guy is like the Predator, from the movie Predator.
I know the effect you're talking about in Halo. Yeah.
So in Halo 1, the camo is like the most effective camo out of all the Halos.
Yeah.
So to spot the camo guy and be able to like pick him off, mid game, is like a big deal. Like it's like a big important play that you make if you spot him out. So I figured you probably would have had good camo eyes.
Yeah, probably. No, I just have horrible hoarding abilities, and then I start looking at games. I'm like, wait, these are different. How come there's an insert inside one of these? Because the 360 cases, you can see that there's an insert, like, and like the Xbox Live trial insert in them. And so you start looking at them, you notice the spines first that they say the manufacturer product number, and then so on. So there's all sorts of weird shit like that. But I think some people had known about the variant at one point, but not so much how hard it was to find in comparison to the other one. It's difficult to get. It was only short-lived. So, and then somehow Matt has more copies. I don't know.
that's called dumb. That's called dumb luck. That's all that is.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think when I first started buying the Minecrafts, they were only like $50, and I just thought to myself, I was like, man, this is one of the biggest games of all time, and people are just sleeping on it. You know what? I'm gonna at least buy a half a dozen, just to say I did.
Yeah. Do you have any 01s?
Okay, so here's where I'm at. I got 3 of them at WATA right now that I'm waiting, and I don't know what they are. So fingers crossed that I got a first print in there.
Yeah. Odds are going to say no.
Yeah, I'm not thinking. I'm gonna be honest.
No, it's a cool variant. I have the copy. I'm gonna keep forever, and then I think Matt has one too. Luckily, so.
Well, I will tell you this: one just sold on eBay last week, first print, $150.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got real lucky. And
that's that type of game right now, though, where your average person who throws it up and doesn't know what they're looking at, and they just. But I will tell you, if you're the type of seller that scans the UPC, it's a different UPC code. So if you look under the details on a stock image and it has the right UPC for the game, it's likely the right game. And I've bought them that way before. So
stock photos.
Yeah, stock photo listed as brand new. Man, I shouldn't tell people how to do this.
Well, it's funny you say that, because Eric Ghost, he's a big stock photo guy.
He's a stock photo king.
And
I bought a game from him on eBay.
Yeah, actually, it was a Sega game, wasn't it?
The Madden or the NFL '98.
Yeah,
I bought that.
Yeah, I remember I would always give him hell. I'd say, man, you love buying these damn stock photos, don't you, man? You just never know what you're going to get. It might be a greatest hits. It might be, because sometimes I don't know how, or, whatever, maybe when they type in the description and then you see the different variants, sometimes they just click, I guess, greatest hits for PS1. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's actually a black label. And he got a pretty big game one time. I'm trying to think what it was. It might have been a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. Yeah. It was listed as a greatest hits, and it ended up being a perfect condition black label.
Yeah, you know why that happens like that? It's because people go in and do sell similar. Yeah. And they'll find the recent sold brand new item of Tony Hawk 1, and they'll just sometimes they use stock photos, sometimes they use real photo. And that was like, man, I used to get gold that way on PS1, but it's impossible now. I think I got Mega Man 8 like that, SpongeBob, Jet Moto, a couple Jet Motos, black label.
Oh, man.
And they were literally like $25, listed at $25, what the greatest hits would sell for. And they're like black labels. So,
dude, I've been wanting a Jet Moto for quite some time now. So I'm pretty jealous that you have. Is it the first one?
Yeah. I think I have one. I think. I have to look.
Yeah. I saw one pop up on eBay some months ago for like $400, and I was like, that's kind of expensive for a Jet Moto. Sold really fast, and I was like, yep, you should have bought it.
Really a good deal.
You blew it.
I blew it. Yep.
Send you an emoji.
Oh man, look at that thing.
God, this is like one of the early PlayStation games we played as a kid.
Yep.
My friend had a PS1. I had a Super Nintendo, but I'd go over there and we'd play PS1 after middle school dances. We'd go to the middle school dance, have a fun time, Then we'd go to his house for Friday night, and we'd sit down and we'd play PlayStation 1. We played ESPN Extreme game, and we played Jet Moto like it was going out of style.
It's funny that you say that you had the Super and he had the PS1, because that's exactly how I had a friend that I went to middle school with, and he lived right next to the middle school. So sometimes my parents would let me go stay the night, and we would just walk to school.
Right.
He had the PS1, and I remember the day that he got it, and he came home, or actually, yeah, I think he went to the store. He came home, and I got dropped off at his house, and I watched him take the PlayStation out of the bag, open the PlayStation, hook it up, and then he pulls out a Resident Evil long box, and I watched him open it. I watched him open the Resident Evil long box, and true story, I told him maybe a year ago, I was talking to him, and I said, "Hey, yeah, you remember that long box Resident Evil you opened? You want to know how much that thing would be worth now?" He said, "No, don't tell me."
Yeah, man.
But I remember, watching him play Resident Evil, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the coolest game ever." I'm watching. It looks like, it just looked like so advanced for the time that we were in. Like the way that this guy could walk down this hallway with this, with this camera just here, and then the character could just move around. I was so blown away by, what that was. And so I remember that was like my favorite. That became my favorite game to play for quite a long time. And I enjoyed 1, I enjoyed 2 and 3, and 4 is where they started to lose me a little bit, because it was just like, you just got to go one way most of the time.
Yeah, I know, like rails sort of thing, but
yeah.
Which version of 4 did you play?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't even. It was probably just the standard
The GameCube one. If you
no, it's PS2. I played the PS2.
If you play Resident Evil 4 on Wii, the game is amazing. It's one
really?
of the it's one of the best games with the Wii controller. It's absolutely one of the best games I've ever played. I'm not kidding. Like
I might have to go back.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 on Wii is legit shit. I'm not kidding. It's really good.
Have you had the chance to try any of the new stuff, Resident Evil?
Mm-mm. I played the 3DS one, the Revelations, and I didn't get into it that much. But the 4 is the last one I played through on Wii.
Do you have a gaming PC by chance?
No.
No. Well, I would if you ever get one, I would highly, highly, highly recommend playing Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Okay.
And then if you play that, then you gotta. I still haven't tried it myself, but I'm hearing that the Resident Evil Village is a really, really, really good game, like a 10 out of 10. So I'm gonna be trying that out here soon.
Yeah, and it's all about time. I wish I had the time to play games.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, when you got little U's running around, it's a lot harder to.
Yeah, all you're playing is Animal Crossing and Mario Kart and
Roblox.
Roblox. Jesus Christ. That is interesting. That is a fascinating game. I can't wrap my head around it. But we watch YouTube videos about Roblox, and we downloaded it to play it, and I let my kid play it. She couldn't figure it out, and then she's like, I want to be the penguin in this thing, and then there's an egg we can hatch and move around. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this? But so we went back and we got Animal Crossing instead, thankfully. So.
Hey, am I getting a little blurry for you?
Yeah, you're a little out of. There you go.
All right. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay.
First my mic, now my camera. I don't know. I might be getting hacked.
It's Sean. Do you play Roblox on Twitch?
Okay, I don't even know what it is. I just know what it's called. That's it. That's where it ends.
We could all sit around and have some drinks and play Roblox and stream on Twitch. So.
Or I could just, we could just throw up a Halo and you guys can hop in the backpack and I'll carry you guys around the map.
That'd work. Just carry us, yeah.
No, man.
One kill.
Roblox is weird. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it's a huge gaming phenomenon. So. Yeah.
Like Minecraft, big, huge game, but I don't see any reason to ever even try to play it. Like I'm just like, why is this fun? But
man, it's because it's interesting. I get why it's fun. If I was 6, 7, 8 years old, I would love Minecraft.
And
I just can see it.
how fortunate are these kids to have these great graphics and all this great hardware now to play like all these modern games? It must be just like, they wouldn't even know what it would be, what it's like to come and from the 64-bit stuff, 32-bit. I mean, I don't know, I don't remember what Nintendo was, but that's where I started.
8-bit.
8-bit.
16, 64, man. So, yeah, it's really interesting. When I was younger, I was always obsessed with like, 64 bits. This is just gonna blow things away. And I remember seeing the Jaguar come out and seeing graphics in magazine ads, and then there was a computer store in town, and they carried Atari products, so they got the Atari Jaguar, and we went in, we looked at a demo of them, and they were playing Cybermorph. I'm like, this looks horrible. And I remember thinking that as a kid, like, I don't want to sit down and play this. It just doesn't look fun. It doesn't, I don't know, it didn't have character-driven aspect to it. I couldn't get behind it. But I will tell you what, when Mario 64 came out, that just blew my mind.
Dude, I remember when it came out too. And my brother had the 64 with Super Mario 64, and I just remember like I went over, I was watching them play, and I was just blown away by the graphics and like how cool it looked, and like I couldn't wait to play so they would let me play, because I was the younger brother, and so you as the younger brother, depending on how your relationship is with your older brother, you might not got a lot of game time in,
that game, man, when you sat down to play it for the first time, it just really changed the way you think about gaming. I'm thankful that it wasn't a 2-player game, actually. Everybody's like, Nintendo's missing out, not making this a 2-player game, but it's such a fascinating video game to play. Like, you go to the ice level and you can kill the penguin, right? You can do these long jumps. The graphics are just really sandboxish. It's just such a neat video game.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Man, I love that game.
Even just watching it, like I remember when it came out, and I'm at my friend's house, and there's 4 of us around just watching.
Yeah,
we're just blown away. We're like, oh my god, this is like 3D-ish, and it just looked like so much fun. You had fun watching it, and I was like, I can't believe I'm watching somebody play a game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was genuinely a challenging game too. I'm in middle school, and that game is not that easy for a middle school kid.
Yes.
But
speaking of challenging, have you guys ever seen anyone play the Super Mario Maker game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
That's cool.
I mean, it's like playing Super Mario 1, but every single thing in the game is on extremely difficulty. Like, it's the hardest, because essentially I think what they get to do, I'm not sure with this, but I think that people can build the map the way they want it to. And so like everywhere that you jump, they put like one of those hidden blocks above your head, and then you hit your head and then you fall off. And like everything has those big spinning fireballs that go all the way around the screen. And it's just like chaos, pure chaos. And to watch these guys play it, and they can navigate it and like get to the next. I mean, I would be stuck on the first screen for a week, and these guys are just like hopping around, getting through, and I'm just like, this is nuts. Just chaotic.
They make the levels where you have to like hit specific spots at a specific time, otherwise you're done. So
you're done. Yeah,
it's really cool. There was a guy that used to do that. It was essentially Mario Maker, but for the Super Nintendo, but you could only download it on a Windows XP or something, right? And so he had all the sprites and everything, and you can design your own levels. I think Nintendo shut him down, but I can't remember what it is. I have it on an old Mac. I should boot that up and play it. And my brother-in-law introduced me to it, but it really was like the first Mario Maker that you could design the Super Nintendo levels of Super Mario World. And it was all completely, not licensed by Nintendo at all. Just a dude that created it.
Actually,
What's that?
oh, sorry. I was just going to say, it's funny that you say that Nintendo, shut them down because, like, I have a connection to, a couple guys that play Super Smash, and I guess they invented, I don't know what they did, but they made it to where you could play each other online using the GameCube, I want to say, version of Super Smash.
Because it's the best version. Right?
Yeah, and so
that's what everybody wants to play.
So they were going to try to do like a tournament or something, and Nintendo said, nope, cease and desist, you're done. And it was just like, wow, like they clearly just don't care about the community of, players at all. And so I hate to see it.
I don't know how much in the community side of like the gaming and streaming things they do that. I'm not immersed in that, but in the video game collecting community, Nintendo was well aware of sites like Nintendo Age and people like Brian Parker, who's running Retro USB and making homebrews and stuff for their system, and they didn't really give a shit. They kind of turned a blind eye to it more than anything.
Yeah, I think when there's like publicity and marketing and like, advertising and money involved, like I think, that changes the dynamic quite significantly. So
yeah,
I get it
too. Yeah. So, I mean, and Brian even went as far as making reproduction Nintendo World Championship cartridges. That's like reproducing a Nintendo game that he doesn't have the rights to do, but he did it. And Nintendo was like, okay, we don't care.
Yeah, because it probably stayed within the realm of like, groups of people, not like, it didn't get streamed or it didn't get,
Yeah, it was really niche, right? So I can see where bigger community-driven things get more attention. But the one I was talking about, the Super Mario World, where you build the levels, it's just a really neat game. I don't know if you can even download it anymore, or if it's just been scrubbed from the web. But it was essentially, when we played it, we were like making all these Super Nintendo levels of Super Mario World, like difficulty, and there was people that were doing it as well, and they could upload levels. And then when Mario Maker came out on Wii U, I think that's what it was. That's my brother-in-law and I watched it. And we're like, Nintendo just took this guy's idea and made it their own fucking game. So, but and that was probably that Super Nintendo one, and maybe there was one before that I'm unaware of. But the Super Nintendo style one was 2011, 12, I want to say. So.
Well, maybe they were kind enough to at least put him in the credits or something.
Yeah, maybe. Probably took him for all he's worth.
Probably not.
Anyway, we're kind of off subject, or maybe we're not. I don't know.
It's video games. I don't think we can be, right?
Yeah, Sean, you should either sell me the Mario Kart or get it graded. That's
okay. Okay.
That's why I came here tonight. So.
That's why Josh showed
up.
No,
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah.
Sweet.
Any good pickups lately, guys?
Yeah. What anybody got? What do you got for wins?
Okay.
Like wins.
Sean, Matt, you guys go. I don't have.
I'm going to go last because I think what I have is a pretty big deal. Not to brag.
It's just
okay. Well, I'll go first because this game is not really a big deal, but it is to me because I've been looking for a little while, and it is not the easiest game to find, and I had it growing up. So stupid stuff like this I love to look for and collect are the games that I had when the console was out, and I'm looking for sealed copies of it. And this is a really dumb one, and you'll think it's like, well, that's not hard to find, but it's really, really hard to find. Supercross 2000
Ricky
for the
Carmichael?
Nintendo 64. What's that?
Is that Ricky Carmichael on the front? Or?
I don't know. But I remember getting this game, ripping it open, and playing the shit out of it. And
I never noticed that some of those games in the top right where it says in sports, that doesn't ring a bell. So that's actually really cool.
Yeah, no, there's like a whole subset of them. Then Nintendo 64 Sports, 1080 Snowboarding has that too, I think, but handful of others. So
I have to grab my win real quick then.
hard game to find sealed. I think I paid $60 for it, so I was happy. I've been looking. And those are my favorite when people aren't looking for a certain game.
Right.
People assume it's common,
Right.
or there's not a lot of data on it, and so they're like, $60.
Yeah, I when I started buying Fortnite copies, people weren't really. I mean, they were still kind of expensive for like a game that's really new. I mean, it's only 4 years old, and they were already selling for $200. But I noticed they're just like really, really uncommon to find factory sealed with the weapons master pack sticker still on the front and everything. And I said, man, Fortnite is the absolute biggest game of all time, arguably. So I would just be, I would be, doing myself a solid to just accumulate as many copies as I could, while they're still, reasonably priced. In my opinion, they were, $200 was a steal to me. But people were just not really paying attention to them like that. So.
Yeah, I didn't buy a single one. So, congratulations to you guys.
You still don't have one yet, Josh?
No, that's okay. I've never played Fortnite. I played Overwatch. I bought some Overwatches on 360, or not 360, Xbox One. But
yeah, I tried Fortnite. I've never played keyboard and mouse my whole life. I was born on a controller, and I'm probably gonna die on a controller. But luckily they had inputs for controller to play Fortnite, which some people actually used it to their advantage by mapping out certain buttons and layouts to where they could be very efficient with the controller. For me, it was weird because you had to you had to push one button to bring out your build where if you're gonna build, and then you have to push a different button to switch back to your gun. So there's a lot going on in just a little bit of time. You have to push so many buttons, and it was just like, it just felt very unnatural to me when I first started playing it. And I got decent at it, but I would say I was no better than the average player, no matter how much I played, which, as you can imagine, it really got to me because here I am coming from other games where like I could just like run over a lot of people, and like I can't hang with the average player now. So yeah. So what do you got for us, Matt?
I don't remember. I think I always ask Josh. I thought this was a win. I know you've seen this, Sean, but
oh yeah,
it was a win.
Big dub.
Oh, stupid glare. But yeah, it's really nice. Like I had to run and grab it because it's in my WADA grading area.
Yeah, I like that, Matt.
What did that run you?
I was excited.
$400.
I think it was $300.
Yeah,
I think it was $300.
Matt sent me a photo of it. He's like, "Should I buy this?" And I go, "You don't buy it, I'm gonna go buy
it." That's normally.
I don't have it. No, I don't have that. I have Zelda 2. I'm missing that one from the set. I sent them all in except Xevious to grade. I'm missing that and Pac-Man.
Eric Ghost sold a Xevious Circle Seal that was in really good condition. I think it was like a 9.4.
Yeah.
And I think he sold it for like,
that's a good game.
I want to say $500 or something, $600.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was high. Like, why? That's high?
I think Xevious is
pretty
Yeah, if it's average, if it's a good game.
Didn't one sell for like $375 or something recently on that Heritage we just covered this last week? I want to see, yeah. So that was the
last thing we covered Heritage, Matt.
Another Eric was just bugging me about not covering it.
Oh shit!
And then, so yeah, we've skipped a few weeks.
Yeah, we'll have to do it end of next week or something. So
yeah, there's a lot of Erics. There's a lot of Dans. There's a lot of...
Thank God, there's only one Sean here. Sean, You spell your name the way that one of my best friends growing up spells his name, and every other Sean. So I grew up with this my friend named Sean, and whenever I'd meet another Sean, I'd always spell their name like Sean, and it was never right. I could never spell it right.
Yeah, actually, the inspiration for the spelling of my name, my dad told me that he was such a big fan of James Bond that he wanted to name me Sean after Sean Connery, and he wanted to spell it the same way. And I thought that was cool, man, because
that's pretty badass.
I'm also a pretty big James Bond fan myself. So, pickup.
What's your win? Did I miss it?
I just grabbed it. Where did it go?
How do you misplace that?
You don't even want to see what it looks like outside of this view. It's just pure chaos.
Oh, dude, you're talking to chaos. So
okay, so I don't have I don't have the game that I wanted to show you guys because it's not here yet. So I'm going to talk about it after I show this game.
Maybe you should. Maybe you shouldn't.
No, I think we're good.
I want to jinx you
because Josh knows. Josh knows the game too.
I know the game, but I don't want it to be like a
reseal.
No, not that. Like something happens to it, man. Because we talked about it. I don't know.
Okay. You know what?
No, I don't know.
I'm gonna think about it while I.
You think about it. I saw the photo and I'm like, God damn.
All right. So just like Matt, I big Zelda fan. So I got me one of these, Oracle of Ages.
I love it, man. I got one coming back from water right now.
Please don't drop that. I don't want to
cry.
Right,
I'm gonna gently put it down now.
But now, to be fair, I don't have to air this episode until Tuesday. So
so we can all do like a hard stop here.
Okay. Yeah, because you could edit this out at any time.
Right? Oh, okay. So yeah,
one, two. No, just kidding. No, do whatever you want, Matt.
Okay. All right, are we doing this?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So
when's it supposed to get there?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
That's
tomorrow.
Why it's
perfect.
So I was in the grocery store and I was in the grocery store. I was walking down one of the aisles and I reached for my phone because I wanted to see if my wife had texted me to get her anything from the store. Cause I told her, hey, I'm at Publix. Is there anything you want me to get? And I put my phone back in my pocket. And then a few minutes later I reach in my pocket and I look down and Eric Ghost has called me 13 times. And I go, oh God, what am I missing? Like, what did I miss? So I hit the text message button and all it is just all caps, Super Mario left bros, left bros. And he's just spamming left bros. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I missing? So I open the link to the game and it's still available. And it's been 7 minutes since it went live.
Oh.
So the first thing I do, instead of buying it right away, which I probably should have just bought it, but I looked at the pictures and I'm scrolling through and I'm like, oh my goodness, it actually looks like a good condition. It's like the seam looks right. Like it looks good. I hit buy now and it said, you had to complete checkout before, buying it now. So I think that's the only thing that saved me is that someone else couldn't just commit to buy and then check out after. And I bought it and it checked out and I go, oh my gosh, I just bought a Left Bros. Oh my gosh, I just bought a Left Bros. And so I call Eric back. I said, he doesn't even say hello. He says, did you get it? And I go, I got it. And he says, let's go. And he was more excited than I was, I think. And so I mean, the whole time I'm in the store, I'm pushing the shopping cart around and I got the phone in my ear and I'm just like, anybody that's walking past me in the store is probably like, what is up with this guy? Like, he is way too amped up. Like he needs to settle down. And I'm just like, I can't believe I got it. And then I immediately go, okay, you know what? I need to chill out because it's not in my hands yet. And I don't know that it's even authentic yet. So let me jump back down to reality and wait till it gets here, or wait till I get the shipping at least, or something. So I'm like, I just go back to just normal. I don't even know that I have this game yet because it's not here. It's not shipped. Some time goes by. No, he prints the shipping label within 15 minutes of me buying it. So I'm like, okay, we got the label. Now he's just got to ship it. I don't message him. I don't say anything. I'm just radio silence at this point. And, the next day goes, I think it was on a Sunday or something. And then Monday comes, and this is the only time that I've ever done this, but I go on the shipping site and I sign up for notifications for this package, just this package, because I want to know immediately when he drops it off. Right. Mm-hmm. So the whole day goes by, nothing. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know that this is going to pan out. So, wake up the next day, check my phone, no shipping. And I'm like, man. Okay. So hopefully today, if it doesn't happen today, I don't, I'm just going to assume that it's gone. Somebody else got it. Somebody, offered more money, whatever. About 9:00 at night comes around, and I get a text message from the shipping company saying package received. And I was like, oh, package received. All right. We're good. So that was kind of like a poured up a little glass of champagne moment, It's in the hands of the postman. So I was hoping to have it yesterday so that I could do a show on it, but tomorrow. Hopefully I didn't jinx it and it gets here.
I'm sure you'll be okay. Now I got to ask you a question. Did you get everything you needed from the grocery store?
You know what, man? I'm gonna go with probably not, because I couldn't wait to get the heck out of there. So I think I had to go back for eggs a little bit later on to make omelets in the morning.
I've had instances where I'm walking through a store like that and I end up hitting buy it now on something like just crazy, and then I totally forget what I'm doing.
It just takes over your mind, and you're like,
holy shit, did that just happen? I'm so glad I looked at eBay randomly, because you pull out your phone, it's like kind of a tick. You look at your messages, you look at eBay, you look at Facebook, it's that thing. And
it's a cycle, man. Exactly.
And so I did it. I meant to pull out the phone to text somebody, and I'm like, oh well, I did that. I went to eBay, I looked at the newest listings, I'm like, oh, and boom, buy it now. Shit, I didn't think that was going to happen. So I've been there. I know that feeling. Yeah.
And then I think the day after I bought it, I load up Instagram and I see on another collector's story, and it's a screenshot of the game with the sold, and it says killer deal, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh gosh, this is not good.
Yeah, please.
This is not good. So I was just like, I'm nervous. I'm like, man, ain't no way this is going to work out. Somebody's going to go in and get that thing. And luckily it shipped.
Yeah.
So the listing didn't get scrubbed from eBay. It was like people could still find it.
Yeah. You could check sold listings. And it was.
I hate eBay. Sometimes it's like that.
Mercari is the same way. I mean,
oh my god,
that one's even worse, because it's so easy to see sold, and it's just like cross your
because
fingers.
it shows with the sold and not sold. They're together, so you don't even have to.
Hey, the best thing with that though is you can see what the person, like somebody listed something great on Mercari. You go just like follow their store or whatever, follow that person, and then like maybe they'll list 5 things today, 5 things tomorrow, but
exactly
stuff, and that's one way I've done it.
Right. Yeah, I do that with eBay a lot. Like if somebody sells something like, you know,
Save
that's
search,
really,
seller.
really big game or something, I'll save them as a seller, and
Yeah.
Yeah. So if,
Yeah,
for
my
people, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the seller trick. I don't know if you do this, but I actually search their items, like sellers' other items, and I'll save that as a search
Yep.
and not the
Ah,
seller.
Yeah.
So then I
okay.
don't have to go like search for the seller to see if there's new items.
Yeah.
And you're giving out free tips, man. This
I thought
this
that was
is
common knowledge, but man, it is so effective. So
It is.
yeah, Matt, you do it right.
I was following Tech Babe forever doing
Yeah.
that, grabbing a bunch of stuff from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she Jory? Jory is the name on the packages, right? The Tech Babe stuff.
Yeah.
And then she always like draws a picture of Ariel on the package.
Oh yeah, I have so many of those packages saved because I just thought it was so cool. It's
I
just
think
like,
it's
this is
hilarious.
awesome.
Sean, you live down there near
Tech
Tech
Babe.
Babe World.
wait, what?
Is that one of your Smurf names?
Tech Babe. Jeez.
I don't.
Smurfette name. No,
No
Tech
way.
Babe. The seller Tech Babe on eBay always lists like sealed NBA jams for Sega CD, like Madden 97s. They just have like they're going through case packs. Listing them.
Gotcha.
Some
No,
are
I
nicer
do.
than others.
The only person that I know of that's down here is the guy that has the Super Mario 1 9.8 that he's asking $1 million for
Oh
on
yeah,
eBay.
I know who you're talking about.
He's by me, whoever that is. I don't remember the name, but I just noticed it was in Orlando, and I was like, oh, maybe I can go get me a nice mint Mario.
Mm-hmm. I had a 9.8 Mario one time.
Oh man.
Oh well,
What happened?
I don't have it anymore.
Oh no. I think we've all relinquished something that we regret. So
Yeah, that one hurts a little bit, a year later. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
awkward moment of silence for everybody in here.
That's
Oh,
okay.
that's fun. No, that's
I got some other cool 9.8s. That's
yeah. I have to say, Josh, it's impressive how you go from like complete collections to nothing to all of a sudden filled back. Your room is filled back in, and I mean,
got to spend that money some way, man.
your polar opposites are extreme.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with it. I enjoy it that way, getting stuff that I want, and now, being able to afford stuff by selling stuff. I think we've always done that. And maybe that's why we collect to begin with, is we know that we can get more if we sell some of the shit that we don't need. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I'm always going to collect and sell that way and deal that way. And if you want to call me a dealer first, that's fine, but I collect shit too. So.
Yeah, I would say Eric, my buddy Ghost, when he started out, he was buying, he bought a lot of modern games because, they were priced really low, like your Skyrims.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many that I just can't think of off the top of my head, but I remember he got a Sonic 1 for Sega, and I think he paid $500 for it. That thing looked like it was being held together by a hair. Like the plastic wrap around it was so rough that I said, man, if you breathe on that thing wrong, it's going to be a CIB. I said, you better pack that thing up and ship it to WADA yesterday.
Yeah.
And of course he sent it off, got it graded. It came back I want to say it came back a 6.0 C+.
Okay.
And when he got it back, he said, what do you think I could sell this thing for? I said, dude, I don't really know. I don't know anything about Sega. In fact, I stay away from it because I don't know the seals very well. And he said, well, WADA said they valued it this much. So they, I ended up having to, pay the difference for insurance reasons. But they valued it at like $10,000. And he was like ecstatic. He was like, that's great. And I was like, man, that is awesome. Actually, if you want, I'll trade you a Halo NFR for that thing. And
He didn't take it.
I didn't know that what he would end up selling for. I never would have guessed that he would have got as much as he did, but he ended up getting like 3 times that. And so, he took all that, and of course, that was what helped him continue buying games. So I said, man, that congratulations. That is awesome. And now you can keep the hobby going nice and strong.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's Sonic 1. I never bought a Sonic 1.
None of us did, because we were all just like, why would we get that? We're all looking at black box games, and we're Super Mario 3s are $100, $200. We're like, whatever, there's a million of them. We don't need that crap.
We should stop talking about that. We had the world in the palm of our hands, Matt, and we did not take action on it.
Oh yeah, Zelda Circle Seals for $250. I remember missing.
Yeah, I got my first Zelda Circle Seal last year, the Rev A, and that the guy listed it for $10,000 or best offer, and I offered him $4,000, and he said he declined it, but he left me a message, and it said, "Hey, thanks for the offer, but I already have one for $4,200." And I said, "Okay." So I offered him again. I did $4,500, and he took the offer, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just got a Zelda Circle Seal. This is awesome." And ended up grading 8.5A. So I was really happy with that.
How long ago did you get that?
That was about 18 months ago. I got that.
It's great. Buy.
You still have it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not going to sell it.
You know what I say? Everything is for sale, right?
I got some games if you want to trade. Yeah.
You know what? I recently entertained the idea of trading games, and my first trade I did was for a Resident Evil 1 VGA 80 plus. I think it's an 80 plus.
Long box?
No.
Okay.
The Jewel.
The Jewel, that is still very difficult to find.
I was like, I wanted it so bad that I was willing to overtrade. So I believe the first owner of it was Eric VVG. I forget his last name. Sorry, Eric. Yeah. And I think he ended up selling it to Matt Huskinson for around, I want to say like $4,000. And so Matt Husk knew I was looking for a Resident Evil because, I got a couple guys that I talked to, just randomly about, hey, how's it going? You pick up any cool games lately? And I was like, hey man, I'm looking for a Resident Evil. And he said, I know a guy that has one. And then a week later, he sends me a picture of it. And he says, look what I got. And I was like, you dirty dog. I know you're going to use that as trade bait for something. And he said, and he gives me the little eyes emoji or whatever. Like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. And so he wanted my Grand Theft Auto 1 for PS1 because it was a 9.6 A++.
Ooh.
And one hadn't really sold for any substantial amount of money yet. So I was like, yeah, I'll trade that Grand Theft Auto. And he said, yeah, but I want more.
Ouch.
And I'm like, all right, man, what else do you want? And he's like, you still got that Tomb Raider 1? And I'm like, man,
no,
you're gonna make me break my setup for this? Man, it's a 8.0 A or A plus. And I said, all right, I'll give you the Tomb Raider and the Grand Theft Auto. And he said, no, I want more.
No.
And I said, dude, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. He said, all right, throw in a Resident Evil 3, like a 9.8 or something, because I had a couple of them. And I said, all right, fine, you win. I'll give you all 3 of these games for that Resident Evil. And so we made the trade, and he got the games, and he goes, he messaged me. He goes, "Darn it, I thought this Resident Evil 3 was going to be the first print, but looking back, I see that it wasn't. So it's my fault." And I'm like, man, you already took me for my house, my car, all my jewelry. Like, come on, man. So, we laughed about it, but that was one of the games I just had to have, sealed.
I don't blame you. I think that's a good trade.
Looking back now,
I think you won. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, a Tomb Raider did sell for 20,000 not too long ago. That was
but let's be real clear about one thing: Tomb Raider is no Resident Evil 1. So
agreed. Yeah. I'm really happy with it, nonetheless. Even if it was even if I over traded at the time, like I'm totally cool.
Yeah. I think you talk about the Resident Evil 3 variant. I see how a first version of that's cool, but I don't get too hung up on those ones. Same with the.
They're really easy to find, though, right? Like those threes, they're all.
Yeah, there was quite a few of them. The first version of 2 is pretty difficult to find, I feel like.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I got me a pretty minty first print too. I don't know if you could see the grade on it. It's kind of glary.
9.8.
Yeah,
A+.
So really happy to have that one.
I got that one's sister, the later one.
Oh, the DualShock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get one of those too, just to have all the variants.
Yeah.
Maybe we could work something.
I don't blame you. No, we can't.
No, okay.
Sorry, it's a 9.8 A+ as well.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Yeah. I don't care so much. I have one, but I would definitely take the other one too. So I feel you on that.
Great game.
Well, I'm excited for you to get your left, Bros.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it, and
awesome.
thank you guys for actually taking the time to look at it and just talk about it and give me your opinions on it, because that's a big deal to me. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
I'd say it's legit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any reason why it won't be. So
awesome.
So that leads to one of the last questions then. House is burning. God forbid it actually does, but house is burning. You can only grab
what? House is burning. Come on. This is just
okay, fine.
No.
Nuclear bomb is heading at your house.
Like this.
Yeah.
A missile's about to hit the house. You grab 1 minute to get out. What am I grabbing?
No, you grab one thing, one game.
That's
game. It. One game, that's it.
I mean, this is probably the easiest decision of my life.
Parcheesi.
I got you.
Parcheesi. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My NFR Halo Black Label.
Yeah.
That's going with.
What is this worth now? 9.4 A+, 9.2 A++, 9.6.
Well, it's kind of skewed now because somebody asked me recently. I won't say who and I won't say what grade, but I basically told him that it was similar to the one I sold on Heritage, and I said, no, you're easily 2 to 3x what that is. And then we had that 9.8 was A+ or A++ standard Black Label sell for close to 30. It was 27.9 on.
Where was that?
That was Heritage.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was Signature.
There was a 9.8
I think
standard Black Label that sold for 30 grand.
9.8 A++. I mean, it was unheard of, and so that sold to close to 30. So in my mind, that kind of took the NFR to a new level. It just comes down to grade.
Yeah, there was that 9.8 NFR that sold on eBay.
Yeah, and we can't. I mean, that was a private sale though, so we can't really say what that was for. But based on that,
that seemed like a good deal to me too.
Well, it is now. But
I thought it was a good deal then.
Yeah, I mean, you're easily looking at, it's somewhere in the range of 20 to 30 plus, easily. 20 being low, 30 being more realistic.
Crazy.
It's insane. Yeah.
I don't know why I don't have that stupid game.
Because it's ridiculous.
I just,
And there's not that many of them. Good luck.
yeah, I have a game of the year. I'm okay. I'll be okay.
Hey Josh, I have a sports game that I wanted to show you and ask.
Right. Let's see.
It's a pretty common game. Everybody knows about it. But what's peculiar about this one is the seal. So NBA Jam TE, and it has a third-party LTB scene. And I don't really know much about the Super Nintendo seals, but
yeah. What's the back of that sucker look like? Let's see. Was this the Heritage one?
No, I bought this on eBay for $150 from a seller, and in his description, I think that he said he bought it in a lot of games, and that like he was kind of familiar with like the factory seams and whatnot, but he said that it was still factory sealed and that it was just a third party seam. And
yeah,
I just took the gamble and bought it.
I've seen a handful of them around that 97, 98 era where they did do more like that. Everybody thinks everything is V seam or H seam or it's fake, right? But the late Madden 94 that was reprinted in 98, it's the same type of seal.
That was my favorite Madden game, by the way. 94.
Yeah, it's one of the best Maddens ever made. Or Madden 93, right? Is that one we're talking about?
94 was the one.
94 is the one. Yeah, 94 is the best. That's the one I remember playing too. But
yeah, I remember playing with the Cowboys, and I would always do Troy Aikman to Emmitt Smith and run the HB toss, and I'd just be gone.
Yeah,
Great game. I ended up finding one of those actually. In
Madden 94. I have one too, but I'm thinking Madden 93. Back to the seal types. They did 3 different versions of Madden 93, and they re-released one in 97 or 98. I want to say it was 98, and so it's got that type of seal type. And these were games that I want to say they were produced in different places that they just sealed them up differently.
And I wanted to ask both of you guys: is there a game that you would that you think that is going to be big, that is has a very low price right now or low value, that you would say to to anybody watching, like, I would definitely get you a copy of this game for the future?
Oh, there's a lot, but I'm not done buying, so it's kind of hard to say.
If you guys want, I'll go.
Bulls versus Blazers. Is that what you're saying, Josh? One just sold. Was that you? It was open auction eBay. Was it you? Of course it was.
Yeah, I won that.
Yeah, I figured. I knew when I saw it. I was like, Josh is buying this.
One other person knew that it was EASN, and so it goes for $2,200. And EASN is a first print of that, and that is the all-time greatest video game ever made. It's unknown to mankind. It's Bulls versus Blazers. So, because in that game, I can live in alternate reality where the Blazers win the NBA championship.
I was going to say, who won that, by the way, in reality?
I mean, you can win any game if you have a cheater on your team. So.
I saw one of those Bulls versus Blazers like not too long ago on auction, and I was like, oh, nobody's going to be buying this game. So I was like, yeah, I might, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I think I might be able to steal this for $300, and it sold for like $800, and I was like, wow.
I didn't win that one. I know who got that. But
he knows.
They wanted to buy it, and I said I wouldn't bid on it. But I have 3. One of them is a reseal, but it's new. It's a NS.
Speaking of reseals.
And then this one that I just got is for tonight. So.
Okay. Is what?
The one that I won tonight is the 4th one I got.
Oh, okay.
It looks nice.
You won the one that ended tonight, right?
Yeah. I bought that for $2,000 or whatever it sold for.
Whoa! Wow! Congrats.
I think it's a man, it's a pivotal game in the franchise for NBA Live. Essentially, you get the Celtics versus Lakers game. You get these franchise games that started with EA, and then they turn into NBA Showdown, and then NBA Live 95, NBA Live 96, and that's where you start the progression of the iconic basketball games that EA made back then. And now everybody's doing 2K, right? And that's fine, but NBA Live dominated that scene. It was the Madden of basketball games.
Call me naive, but in that game, did Jordan release his rights so you could actually play him?
No.
So it's not Jordan. Did they name him something like?
No, actually, I think Jordan is in NBA.
Bulls
versus Blazers. Yeah,
okay.
He's just not on the cover.
So Josh, I have to ask: do you have an NBA Live 2000 with Jordan on the cover?
It's supposed to be at my house, but it's not here. So. I bought one. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I recently found out about that, and I was like, man, I gotta find one of those, and nothing.
They're sealed ones.
Oh, I was just looking for a CIB and nothing.
Yeah, there's also another Jordan cover that very few people know about. But
I don't know about it.
Yeah, should I say it? I guess now people are going to look.
You could.
It's Jordan in a Wizards uniform on NBA Live 2002 Xbox in Japan and PS2.
Well, I wonder what it is about the Japan and getting Jordan on the cover. I don't.
I'm not sure about that, and maybe that was to sell the games there better because
I think that's what
Asian
it was.
cultures.
Nobody knew who Tim Duncan was, right?
Yeah, good point. Because you get a little image of Jordan on NBA Live 2000, but yeah, the PS1 NBA Live, man.
Wait a minute, that's a pretty big image, right?
Mm-hmm. No, you're talking about the US versions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, US versions has a little emblem on the.
Oh, okay.
I got one, maybe not.
Oh, I see the Bulls Blazers up there now. Yeah.
I got a 2000 somewhere, just not where I can see it. But yeah, it's just like a little badge that says Jordan is back on the front of the US versions of it, the PS1 and N64. But the Japanese got Jordan on the cover, the Japanese releases of it, and I think I think it's only Japan. I have to look, unless other countries got it as well. But the one that I saw the other day, just like I was like, God damn, he's in a Wizards uniform on NBA Live 2002, and I found 2 copies and I bought them from Japan, but they haven't showed up yet, and I don't know if I'll get them.
Actually, I bought my favorite art variant for any game ever made is actually a Japanese release.
Is it Blinks?
No, it's Halo 1 actually, and I lost it. It's gone. Oh, there it is.
I love that one. Yeah.
It's my favorite art cover of all time. And so fortunate that I was able to secure one in literally gem mint condition. Yeah. This thing came all the way from Japan for $150 and it made it here unscathed. And I was so happy that I got it.
I don't know how many Japanese Xbox games you've bought, but the ones that I've seen and handled, like there's something about the quality control there. They're always just really nice. Like the inserts are inserted really nicely. They're not like off-centered. You don't have to shake them around. There's just something about
right. And even the collectors, like the people that have the games, it seems like they put it in a room full of bubble wrap and they just set it where it's never going to get touched. It's great.
They're nice, and that's the culture dating back to the NES stuff and the Famicom games. There was incentive for people to keep them in good condition because the stores had like a thing where you could bring your old game back, and based on how nice it was, after you're done playing it, they would give you an amount of money to get the next game, right? So there's just this cycle. And so within the video game culture there of keeping your games in good condition, that's typically what you get. You get nice stuff in Japan. So,
Absolutely. I don't
I
think
don't
I've
have
ever
a ton
gotten
of
anything
Japanese
that's
games. What's that?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say I don't think I've ever gotten anything from Japan that didn't come in like a 9.6 or better condition. So, but I've only bought a few things.
Yeah.
And it's mostly Halo related.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, so I had the game that I was going to say that I think is a great pickup that you could still buy for $20, $30. I might have to get up real quick to go get it.
Yeah, go grab it.
And while I get up, Matt, I want you to take a look behind me, behind this chair. I had this made from a local artist that lives in the area by me. I commissioned him to do this painting, and I think you'll really appreciate it.
I've been seeing it in the background. That
Holy
is
shit.
awesome. I don't have one of those. Clearly, I need a game wall.
No, you don't.
I like your
have
game. I like your game wall.
Yeah, the room's getting done.
So, are you going to keep all that stuff in there, or are you going to move everything to the other room?
I'm gonna keep this stuff in here. This is gonna be sports, you know.
Okay.
I gotta get this sticker off this damn game.
Okay. So this is my pick.
For appreciating game. Oh,
NBA 2K14. Okay.
God damn it! Don't tell people that, please.
All right. We can edit this one out.
Okay? No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
That's LeBron.
First
if we're gonna
LeBron
do
James.
this, what's that?
I said the first LeBron James cover, and it's not the only one, but it is the first one. Yeah, I think it is.
Oh,
unless Josh schools me. I mean,
do you want? Okay, let's go.
If anybody's going to school me, I think Josh is going to be the guy. So let's see.
This is the first LeBron cover on a console.
PlayStation 209.
Wow.
Yeah, you got Kobe, you got D Wade, you got Paulie Pierce, LeBron, Carmelo, and the greatest Carlos Boozer. So,
how in the world did he make the cut?
I don't know, but it's the who's who of the NBA in 2009. It's really a cool cover.
Yeah, actually, I've never even seen it before, so that's very interesting.
Now all those
vibe sticker is, there's reseals of this shit out there, so be careful.
Okay.
You want them with the vibe sticker.
The vibe, okay.
Yeah, they're PS3. It came out on PS3. I want to say at the same time, and they also have a vibe sticker.
I see that grin over there, and I just know that those copies are just going to magically disappear all of a sudden. He's gonna
actually they're gonna disappear right now. Actually, hold on.
If he doesn't have 50 yet, he's going to soon.
Okay, I got a few too. That's fine.
I would say,
Sean, you can buy them at. I don't care if you go out and buy them at $25, $30, whatever they're priced at. I got them at $5 a piece. So.
Just one is good. I don't need 50,
yeah.
Matt.
No, it's a cool game, but that's not his first cover either. So.
He doesn't. He forgot.
So maybe this is maybe the 2K14 is his first solo cover.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well then it's got to be the first 2K game that he's. I got to get one of these right.
It's the first 2K game. I don't know if I want to tell people about this.
I mean, we've given them a lot, guys. I don't think we need to. I think we've given a lot tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't have to bust the cat. Well, at this point, we've got 6 viewers. which is Eric,
I kind of want to now. I
Eric,
gotta find them now.
Michael, Andrew,
Oh, I didn't realize this was live.
Peter. No. I'm saying who's watching this at this point
This
is about
live.
Like when
is
when
about
you,
6
I got you.
people. Yeah. I was just naming off who it's going to be. Speedy Ness, Andrew Morgan, both Erics, Michael.
I don't know where I put these games.
It's probably a good thing.
Dan Kaplan.
Oh yeah, what did you think of the painting, Matt?
That's badass.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's a 40 by 30, and actually, he didn't even tell me this, but he used a fluorescent paint that only shows up in like a black light, and Master Chief's helmet actually will kind of glow. It has like that orange glow, but it really shows up in a fluorescent light. It's really cool.
Oh wow. Dude, that's
Yeah, I paid $300 for this.
What?
And I mean, yeah,
wow.
it was a steal. I mean,
Man,
the
I
guy
more for
he had
that
just
for a stock poster.
all right. The guy just started taking commissions, and so I said, "Hey, man, I want a big painting of this. How much is it going to run me?" He said, $300. I said, "That's it. Done. Deal."
Wow.
Should have seen it when he was finished, and I walked in to see it for the first time. I mean, I looked like a kid that just walked into the candy store for the first time in his life and had all the selections available right in front of me. Like, I was just blown away.
That's awesome. I love it.
That's cool. That sounds really affordable for a commission painting.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially
$300.
a 40 by 30. It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
it literally takes up an entire wall, and it just looks, it's so good. The detail is just so good.
Like I said, my poster in the background costs more than that, and that's just a print. It's ridiculous.
So
All
do you
right.
guys want? You
Yeah.
want the first LeBron cover?
What do you got?
I can't wait to see it, honestly.
It's actually really hard to find sealed. So I have 3 copies, and it's not for lack of trying.
Wow. NBA Street. Is it just Street
It's
Showdown?
NBA Street Showdown. So for PSP, LeBron gets his first cover in 2005.
Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. Congrats on those, man. That's nice.
This is Matt. You can edit this all out if you want. So.
You know,
Don, now you know. Okay.
If
Now
it was
I know.
anything but PSP, I probably would be worried about it.
That's
but
I think that exactly. But don't let that fool you because people are crazy. So.
I don't know.
PSP is a good console, man. I think it's kind of a sleeper.
I
Some
bought
good
my
shit.
first PSP game recently also.
Yeah.
And it happens to also be a basketball game.
Which game?
2K12 with Jordan.
Yeah, nice. That's tough to get, dude.
Yeah, it was the only one. It
Yeah,
was and I paid $20 for it, and I was like,
yeah. I don't have one. I think. Hold on, these are really cool too. No, I'm not gonna show it.
No, don't do that. You've given
If you
away-
saw where I reached over there, I don't know if you can. Nope, it's out of frame. Perfect. Okay, we'll talk about that later. It's been fun, guys.
If
So,
I don't, well, I was just going to throw out something. You wanted under $100 for something that's
Mhm.
reasonable to, or what were the terms for affordable? $50.
like something that's really affordable that that you think is a really good pickup that is going to be worth something in the future.
I know. Hands down. I mean, I know we all have enough, or at least I hope we have enough. Modern Warfare 3, hands down.
Easy.
Not even a second thought.
Oh, actually, I wish I had
I'm so
one.
happy I bought those, Matt.
I told you, I saw a listing of like, what do you
The
have?
person had 50.
Yeah, he had
50.
50 and I bought 8 and I said, Josh, you need to buy all of these. Or I said, get these. Or he said, all of them? And it was like,
And then I was going to, and then the day got away from me, and Matt's like, did you buy them? And I'm like, no. And I go back, and there's like 25 left or something. I'm like, fuck.
I was telling you all day, buy.
No.
Actually, I have a Modern Warfare 3 that I recently got that I want to show you guys if I can find it. Give me like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If I can't,
because from a player's aspect, I mean, Modern Warfare 2 was really the fun one to play for me. And then same with 3. Those were the two really, really fun Modern Warfares. But that's just, if you got to search for it, go for it.
yeah, let me, I'm not going to spend a
Go.
lot of time because if I can't find it, then.
2 minutes, you're on the clock.
All right, let's go.
Josh is.
Oh, man. Yeah, those Modern Warfare, they're nice, Matt.
Yeah, well, because you bought all of them, you got some nice ones mixed in there. Mine weren't the level yours were. So you got very fortunate.
Okay, yeah, it was in the first box that I looked in, and let me tell you, I have like 100 boxes.
Yeah.
So the fact that I went to the first one and found it is like it's amazing. Okay, check this out.
Not for resale. So pack in.
Yeah, I've never seen one, so I didn't know if it was a rare, pickup or not. But $20, not for resale. I'll take it.
I have no idea if I have one. I know a lot of people. It's yeah. To me, it's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't have one. I haven't seen one. But it was a pack in.
Did you guys play Fable ever?
Okay, so my wife plays Fable, and she played the first one, the second one, and the third one. And no. I was gonna say one of the games made her very mad, but it wasn't Fable. I think she enjoyed every bit of Fable. I think it was Mass Effect that got.
Oh,
that
Mass
got
Effect is
mad.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Fable is I only played the first one when it came out on Xbox, and it's a really good game. I feel like it's kind of an underpriced thing that people don't think about. I don't even think I have one, but no, I probably do.
Okay, so there's a couple variants which I'm sure you probably know already, right? Okay, so the first print has the blue circle on it that says bonus DVD.
Oh yeah, I do know about this. Yeah,
that's the one you want, and I cannot find one, and I've been looking for like 2 years, and all I found are like the next run, which is just a like a black label
standard,
like standard, yeah. My buddy Eric Ghost, he found one in Germany, and it was an NTSC, and I'm like, how in the world did you find that? I've been looking forever.
Yeah.
He's a search beast. He
really is.
He is awesome.
I was gonna say,
dude,
I taught him well.
He sent me a link to a Game Gear game on Instagram, and I don't think I saw it. And then he sends me a message. He's like, "Did you get that?" I'm like, "No, man, I didn't see the message for like a day." He's like, "Oh," but yeah.
Yeah, I think the first time I messaged you, Josh, it took 16 days to get a response.
Sounds about right.
That's about right.
Instagram is not the best way to communicate.
Yeah, I think I know that now.
Dude, I go in there, I'm like, I have like 12 messages from people that I'm not following or don't follow me, so I don't see them, and then I go over there and I'm like, I'm sorry I didn't respond to you for the last 3 months.
3 months.
Or then I'll have some and I'll be scrolling and I'll be like, wait a minute, I didn't respond to that. What the fuck happened?
Hey, that happens even if you have his phone number. Like, oh, I didn't respond to you last week.
Hey man, I'm sorry I left you on red for 17 days, but just got busy,
What's the last? Let me see.
What were you
see
pulling?
now?
Oh, you definitely got back to me eventually. We're good.
Okay.
But I think I was messaging you about a Rad Racer first print that I.
Oh yeah. Never saw your mess. This was back in October.
Yeah.
There is. Who has that one on eBay? Is that yours?
Yes, that is mine.
Shit, I saw that. So.
Yeah, I first put it up for. I want to say I put it up for only like 30,000, and like 3 different people messaged me and said, "Hey, I don't have the money to buy this, but you're crazy to sell this for less than 50." Like, and it was like the same kind of like You know, it was the same kind of dialogue. Like, hey, you're crazy to sell this. What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't really know anything about this game. So
I think there's one other one that I know about, one or two other daytimes.
yeah, there's an 85 out there, silver.
Yeah,
I forget the guy that has it.
What's that?
I forget who has it, but I've talked to him because he showed me a picture of it. I just can't remember which.
Is it one upped?
I don't know.
I think it might be Amber. How's it?
I'm
gonna look at her.
I decided it's time to let that one go because you know, got to buy some more games. You know,
did you sell it?
Hobby? No, it's still up there.
Okay.
Right now.
I'm gonna figure this out.
As rare as that is.
Hold up.
I'm sure that'll go. It'll just take them a couple days to.
She has a 85, and I don't know if it's a daytime or not. It's the only one I saw. So.
Yeah, I had another guy message me on Instagram and say pretty much the same thing, and he said, I'm about to buy a really good graded second print, and I'm paying, you know, a substantial amount for it. So I would definitely hold on to that thing or sell it for, you know, at least this much.
Yeah.
You know, I try not to like let, you know, too much influence me because I never know what, you know, people's motives are. Like maybe they might have a couple and they don't want to see that one sell for low because they have the same thing, and you know, you never know. So
yeah, you never know. That's true. I
don't think that many people have daytime rad racers.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think there's maybe one or two others that I can pick up. I don't know if Amber's is though.
Wouldn't you think Heritage would be a better spot signature for that? No. No.
If I had it, I wouldn't sell it. But that's not trying to tell Sean not to sell it.
Yeah.
That's
well, you wouldn't be the first, so.
That's just apparently not. But I mean, that's like, everybody. Left Bros is great, right? But there's a handful of them.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out's great, but there's 0 white bullets. You know, that's.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a white bullet.
This kind of falls in the area of Hang Tab, Metroid, White Bullets Tyson. You know, White Bullets Tyson's its own horrible thing that doesn't exist for some reason. It doesn't. I mean,
and if it does, it would go for absolute insane amounts. Well,
yeah, I mean, the ovals are minimum 10K no matter what.
No matter what. Well, the oval 9.6 went for 102 in Heritage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, but
that's a big sale.
Would a bullet really go for more than 200,000-300,000?
100%. White bullet comes up, it's gonna be pushing it, dude.
You think it'll push past Mario though?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because I think Mario's already pushed past Mario.
What did you do that I don't know about?
No, I didn't do anything. The one sells for 660, and now the 9.8 on Rally's at trading at 775.
So that 9.4 what was it, a matte or a gloss that was on the Pawn Stars for the
gloss.
guy wanted $1 million? Would you think that's a really good deal now?
9.6 A+.
No, I thought it was a 9.4 A+.
It's a 9.4 A+. It's Richard's 9.4 A+.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's over $1 million. So.
What a great find and a great own by that gentleman.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mario's dumb though. Right?
I think me and Matt will agree. You know, Halo's so much better.
It is. They're way better games than Mario Brothers. Iconic. Halo is very iconic.
Yeah,
Halo is a very important video game.
And speaking of Halo, I say I was extremely lucky to find a gray box Halo 2 still sealed. Like that is we might have to go back to the missile, the fire, the house is on fire. I might have to second guess it and grab that thing instead. I mean, it's
No.
So that's kind of neat, right? Like we're
yeah.
talking crazy cool variants here on modern, and now it's a gray case Halo is like a Grail, right? A Halo 2. It's like a Grail game for people, and it's just some stupid fucking variant.
It's just an accident. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's
I don't even know if it's an accident. I mean, that's just what we're calling it.
It's an in-between print.
an in-betweener.
Yeah, as Dan would say. It's
Yeah,
just transition
I
from.
love that.
Yeah.
And that tells me that video game collecting is not dead.
Oh, far from it. It hasn't even hit
You know,
us.
well, like people talk about like stuff is just going for a ton of money because of it being a first version and it's Mario or Zelda on it. But you talk about like some random ass Halo 2 print or release or whatever, and it's the one that people want after the initial release, right? Like they're gonna pay big money for that thing because of the uniqueness to it. It goes back to like creating internet lore on why games like stadium events became so valuable.
Yeah.
Or anything. Or Air Raid for 2600. So I don't know. It's always fun to discover new things.
Well, it's not going to die. I mean, it's just going to keep. To me, it's just going to follow right behind comics. I mean, how many times do you think comic book collectors said, "Oh, this is a fad. This is going to die," or these prices can't keep going up? And have they ever stopped?
No.
I would
level out. Things change. People put their money in different, and same thing happens in video games. There's nothing wrong with that. But the more eyes that get into a hobby, it just will continue to grow. In video games, it has a long way because of how many people played video games that they don't collect video games now, and they see that people are collecting them, and they're like, wait a minute,
I want to collect.
This is cool. So
yeah,
and that's the fun part about it too, is new people to the hobby.
Yeah, and circling back to the stadium events comment, Josh, Eric Ghost recently stumbled upon a Halo game of the year, Halo 1 game of the year, and I think it was a not for resale, but it has like a bluish stamp, like the game of the year stamp. I think Matt also saw that as well.
Yeah,
that was something that I was blown away by.
Yeah.
And I've never seen another one, especially sealed.
It's just these weird variants that you guys are tracking. I love it. Right?
And
I
with
have
Halo,
no idea about these.
With Halo, there's so many variants of like these really popular games that you can find out there that like you never knew existed, and even as a community as a whole, no one even knew like that it existed until like we really paid attention to detail. So like anybody that watches this, really pay attention to your games, like really take a look at them and like compare it to another one and see what you never know what you got.
Yeah, you Halo guys are awesome. I love this. Like you are the best type of collector, like, because you are obsessed with Halo to your core, and nothing can break you from it, and so you're gonna obsess about these small little details on games that are totally important to people like me as just a pure collector, and important to you guys because you're discovering this all together in your niche subculture of video game collectors and streamers and gamers or whatever. So we need it in the hobby. We need somebody to be that niche wrestling game collector to figure it all out, or anything,
Yeah, and that's a testament to really how good the Halo series was. Like, the trilogy, the 1, 2, and 3 were just so, the replay factor was just so high on those games. Like you never got burned out on it, no matter what. If your buddies were at home and they were playing a game, it was, in the Halo world, like there was always a reason to get on, like, and you
Yeah.
you never got you never got bored of it. And that's what, I think we really appreciated was like, these developers made such great games. And I want to kind of, go off topic a little bit here, but with Halo 1, when they made it, they didn't, I don't think that they intended for the main weapon, which is the pistol, to be as as dominant as it ended up being. So we always joke about it and say that, they made the greatest game of all time on accident. And it's just like really cool that, we were able to, take this game and, find something in it that wasn't really meant to be balanced the way that it was. And that's what made it so fun. So it's just it's just really cool. And I think like a lot of Halo, people that played Halo, a lot of gamers, players, competitors, we all just really, really, really love the games that they made. So
Makes sense.
hey, you guys got any cool, like, not just games, but like accessories, like hardware, controllers, anything like that? Yeah, I see Matt grinning real big over there.
I'm just looking at Josh.
Oh.
Yeah, I do. It's all in totes right now.
Don't worry about it then.
That game room that I'm doing, man, it's just, I got to put the ceilings up now. I got the plumbing done. I got the electrical done.
You do all that stuff yourself?
Ceiling's
Or you
I've been doing some of it. I hired out the plumbing. I did not want to do the plumbing.
I had to do something related to plumbing and electrical today, actually.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of doing. I mean, I could figure it out, but it's going to take me 2 weeks. What somebody who could do it quickly, and a professional plumber would take 2 hours. So I'm gonna.
So you might want to call Mario or Luigi then, right?
Right. Yeah,
did you guys know
right.
that Mario's his first profession was not plumbing?
Really?
Did you guys know that? He was a carpenter.
Oh. A jack of all trades.
You learn something new every day, I said.
So to speak. Yes, you do. I got to go to bed, you guys. This is fun. And you're up really late tonight, so.
Oh yeah, you know what? I
Thanks
took a
for
nap
hanging.
earlier.
Okay.
I was prepared for this day. Actually, I rearranged my whole entire game room for this, and I said, I was telling Eric Ghost, I said, hey, I'm not gonna miss this for anything. So I'm glad you guys invited me. Thank you so much. It was fun being here. And I feel like we weren't here for very long, and I look at the clock and it's
3 hours.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Where does the time
been a
really
minute.
go?
I was a little late, but we pushed it this one. This has been.
No, you were early. Remember?
Early-ish.
Well, we're definitely stoked to have had you. I know that Dan was busy underwater basket weaving, so he couldn't make it.
Yeah, the lakes up there in Banff finally melted, so he's been really working that basket weaving. Yeah. Something about those Canadians, man.
So if anybody wants to follow you, where can they follow you?
Okay, so if you guys watch Twitch, you can twitch.tv/asklegend. If you want to add me on Instagram, my collector profile is Bigsaucegames. And if you have a Twitter, you can go to you can at me at the Legend P.
The Legend
Nice.
P.
Yeah, the Legend P.
All right. Cool,
Sweet.
man.
All right, guys.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below. Like, comment, subscribe. Hate mail goes to Josh. Appreciate it.
Right here.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again soon. Take care.